What's up, guys? This is John, the Primal Coach. I'm here to talk about my day. So what I'm going to do today is just run you through a bit of a day in the life of me. So today is a squat day. So we're going to have a really big squat session today. We are at the end of 8 weeks out, going into Canadian Nationals. The goal today is to hit a really big and hard SSB squat. The other goals today is to do my busiest work day. So Sunday, generally I have programs, check-ins, and sessions. So it's a bit of a big day. So we got up at 6:30. We did some journaling. I like to set the day with intention of journaling. So basically what I do is I journal out 5 things that I'm grateful for every morning. And I then repeat them to myself repeatedly for a few minutes. Then I go on and I write some affirmations. So a lot of the affirmations revolve around my faith. Because that's something that I have been working on and working towards and just kind of getting a better relationship with God over the last year. So I'll write some prayers out, I'll pray a bit, I'll kind of talk to myself, sit in some stillness, and then I'll read a book. So right now I read a chapter of The Obstacle is the Way every morning. Once I'm done that, I'll cycle into a different book. Generally I cycle between 3 or 4 books right now. The reason as to why is I like to read a few of them more than once, so that way you get more emphasis out of each and everything that you're reading. So that's what happened this morning. Right now, we're just relaxing for a minute. Then we're going to go down to the gym in the condo and do a little bit of a walk. And then I'm going to get into client feedback, client programming for a bit. Probably do about an hour of programming, maybe a little bit more. So bang out a few programs there. Refine a couple people's lead into nationals. And then I got a client at 10:30. And then I got a 1-year review of one of my long-term clients at 11:30. Then we're going to have lunch. And then we're going to relax for a little bit. And then we're going to head into the gym. We'll probably go for another walk after lunch as well, just to get the digestive moving. Then we're going to go into the gym. And then when we're done with that, we'll have some dinner. And then we're going to finish up programming. So we'll probably be done the day around 9 o'clock. Outside of that, it should be a great day. Really excited to take you guys on a bit of a journey here. One of the things that I really journaled on this morning was self-belief. And it's something that I've very much been working through and coming to terms with. So you're not always going to believe in yourself as much as you probably want to, nor as much as you probably should. And a lot of times what I found for me is if you go through something, sometimes like near the end of it, you'll notice that things get better. The other thing is when you're going through that thing, a lot of times, or when you really fall down in life, a lot of times it gets really hard to build that self-belief. And a couple years ago I did that. So now it's been, over the last few years, it's been a steady process of rebuilding the mind and rebuilding the mental attitude into a more positive outlook. And a big part of that now has been belief. I truly believe that I can do something incredible within this. And I want to highlight that journey a bit more. I want to teach people some more stuff as well. So that's why we're going to start to do a bit more of this. So enjoy the ride. All right, guys, so I just finished my morning cardio. About to step into the office now. I'm actually in the office. And I'm going to go through client feedback. So generally I take off Friday afternoons and all day Saturday. Yesterday I was actually at a meet. So what I was doing, I was commentating for Apex Barbell Media for the Trinity Barbell Meet of the OPA. It was a good time, great time actually. I really enjoy commentating. It's actually very fun for me. I actually really just love powerlifting, and it's just cool to kind of be there, be in the community and help other people and give people a good experience. That's what I view commentary as, just giving people a good experience. So now we're going to get into the coaching experience, guys. So now we're back from lunch. So for lunch I had taco mix, so ground beef with taco seasoning, and rice and vegetables, and then I had a bunch of fruit just now. So basically I took a nice little break, about 2 hours, did a little bit of watching some TV, cleaned up a bit, got myself ready to go, took a light nap. I find napping really helps me. So one of the things I found is that when I do this, instead of just working straight through on Sundays, when I actually take a break, I train, and I do some stuff to break up the day. 1, my coaching feedback's way better. 2, I get done at pretty much the same time. And the next day I feel a lot more refreshed. So that's what we're doing for today. So basically, now we took that break. Now it's time to get after it. We're going to go to Freebird. That's where we're going to train today. We're going to hit a really big squat session today. I'm thinking somewhere between 285 to 305 kilo for SSB triple. I'm feeling good today. I had a good day yesterday. I'm pretty motivated right now. I'm really excited to do this, so let's get out. All right, so we made it to the gym, so we're just gonna go in and do our squat day. Just taking a few minutes just to calm down, get myself focused, and lock into what I'm doing for the day. All right, guys, so now we're getting for the squat. So really good squat day today. This was my second last warm-up. Actually, yep, second last warm-up with 260 kilo here. So did it for a few reps, felt pretty good, but realized I needed to work up a little bit more. I just wanted the bridge a bit better. It felt good, but it felt a little loose at the bottom, so I wanted to tighten that up for my next warm-up set. So then when we move over to 285 after this, so you'll see that I take my time a bit more. I do it for a single. So the reason why I only wanted to do it for a single was to bridge into the 295. I was thinking maybe 300, 305. This did move quite well. Depth, I thought, was a little bit suspect, so I wanted to tighten that up a little bit going into my top set. But I found this moved quite well. Took it for a single. Could have took it for a double, but I didn't want to waste any bullets going into my top set, which is the most important set. As we're getting into prep, we want to be hitting those top sets very, very strongly. So I'm really excited for this top set. I was feeling very good going into it. I'm just going to play it up. Come on. Let's go. Focus. Come on. Come on. Come on. Push. Let's go. Come on. So I was really pleased with this top set. I thought it moved phenomenally well. It moved a lot better than I expected. That last rep, I went a little bit lower, so it felt that bit harder, but I really liked how I attacked it. The last rep, just going that bit lower, I got a little looser at the bottom, so I just need to tighten up a bit more. Then we went into our back offs, 10% off for a set of 3, and then we went to do more back offs after this, which you'll see, with 245 kilo. But honestly, this was a phenomenal day. This was, I believe, a 30 pound PR on the SSB bar. Hitting anything over almost 300 kilos and above is huge on the SSB bar. So I was very pleased with myself. I love the way I was approaching the training today, and it was just flowing really, really well. I was nice and focused. I was focused on the task and present within the moment, which is what you want. So we just finished our squat. So I hit 295. Very happy with that. Especially for an SSB bar, that's by far the best I've ever done with an SSB bar. So we're really excited for what that means for nationals. Super excited for that. Had a great workout, very focused, very controlled. Love the top set. I'll review it a bit more later as well. But yeah, it's 5:30. We're gonna go home, have some dinner, and then kind of go from there. We're gonna be finishing up client programs for most of the night. Then I'll go for a walk on the treadmill, and that's my day. And then we'll do it again tomorrow. Today. So we just got done at about 10:30. So I had to do about 4 hours of programming and 4 hours of video review. Video review was done mostly in the morning. Then it was just going through athletes' check-ins, making sure that everything's all filled out properly, asking a few questions of people when I needed to, and then taking that and then using their yearly, monthly block periodization plans. Also, those that are doing nationals, we have basically at about 14 weeks out, I start to, on my spreadsheet, I create a plan for all these clients, and that plan is very much the meet plan and how we periodize in week to week to make sure that we actually peak at the right time and we set the blocks up so they actually make sense. Because as you run through and you start to get to the end with blocks especially, if you're not pacing those blocks properly, not in terms of pacing, in terms of like RPE pacing week to week, but if you're not pacing those blocks week to week leading into the meet to create the peak at the right time, what will generally happen is you'll end up like lining it up so it peaks at like the wrong time, or you like kind of that last block just won't be long enough, or something like that will generally happen. So what you want to do is make sure that you avoid that. How you avoid that is proper planning. Leading in about 14 to 16 weeks out should be when you really start to kind of have those things planned out. Also, that I take that time to then send them the plan. I usually give about 2 to 3 options, the stuff that I'm playing in my head, and then I'll get them to weigh in on it, and then we'll go from there, and we'll usually rely on something. Sometimes it may just be like, what do you feel is best? Sometimes they got a bit more experience. A lot of times they'll be like, hey, like I like this approach, don't necessarily like this approach. And I found that to be like one of the greatest things to do. Honestly, it was a great day. I hit a huge huge squat PR. I hit a lot of really good numbers in the gym. I've been feeling tremendous in the gym every week. I feel phenomenal. I feel physically great. I've been having a ton of fun coaching people these days, and it's just fucking awesome. 2-3 years ago, I was running a gym. I was no longer happy with it, and I decided to move into coaching. And it's been a huge, crazy, fun journey to because I basically went from full-time coaching for 7 years to then running a gym for 3, and then kind of coaching on the side part-time, then coming back and building up. And it's been phenomenal. Like I'm having so much fun just coaching people, helping people, and having a really big impact on a one-to-one basis. Generally, when I coach clients, it's very one-to-one base. I have a programming only option as well, which is still very one-to-one, customized, unique, where I'm interacting with each client. We're working on their specific individualized journey. And I think when you have really good coaching, when the coaching is laid out properly, that individualized work, when it's done well, can be freaking phenomenal. When it's not done well, you might as well use ChatGPT, or you're better off just paying someone for a goddamn program because that's what you're paying for. But if you're getting a real coach, real coaching is tremendous. So that's always just something to remember. But in terms of everything else, like I had a phenomenal day. I was present in the moment all day. I really enjoyed my workout, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And that's the number one thing that you need to remember when you're training. Have fun.